Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. As you guys can see with the title, guys, I literally just got off of a good 1.5 mile walk with Leo, so I'm a little bit like, because I need to calm down. So my face looks a little bit like I just got frostbitten because we did get the first frostbite last night. All right, let me get back to it. Let me calm down a minute. Get myself together so you guys don't think I'm crazy. All right, so today we are ranking the last 2 months of palettes that I have been using. This will be the last ranking of the year. Yeah, we're gonna start this again next year. You guys seem to enjoy it, and I'm having a lot of fun ranking old and new palettes in my collection that I am rotating throughout the year. So I have my palettes here. You will see swatches of all these palettes as I've done throughout the year. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash brush pan. That is something that interests you. Subscribe, join us. And now let's get on with this ranking. I hope you guys do not mind me having a hat. Like I said, it is cold outside. I just came back from a nice walk with Leo, and yeah, it's cold up here. So I figured let me just keep my hat on, and it saves me from doing my hair because I really don't want to do my hair. All right, you guys, so let's do some ranking. As you guys know, these are palettes that I have used at least 80% of the palette itself throughout the month, weeks, whatever it is that I take. Some of these I have reviewed, some of these I have not gotten a chance to review, but I am here to let you guys know what my thoughts are, and I'm very excited about it. Before I get to the ranking, as you guys know, none of these do I plan on decluttering. None of these are bad, but somebody needs to take last place and somebody needs to take first place, and I gotta do it. I gotta be the mean person. So here we go. 8th place goes to Too Faced Salted Caramel. This is an actually really nice palette for what the color story is. The reason why it is last place out of this round is because the color story is not unique. We've had these, and we will continue to see this kind of color story throughout our years of loving makeup. But the quality of this is really nice. I do not know if all of the small tins like this from Too Faced are this good of quality, but this one's really nice. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I played around with it. It was a great palette to end the summer and transition into the fall. It was perfect. I enjoyed it a ton, but it's not unique. That's why it's number 8. Number 7 goes to the Sigma Ambience palette. Again, the reason why this is on the lower part, it's not because of the quality, it's because of the color story. It's not super unique, but I will say that this palette has allowed me to enjoy and try out the Sigma quality, and I really am digging it. This month is Black Friday month. I'm sure at some point Sigma's gonna have a great sale, and I will, mark my words, I will get the Enchanted and Corte Rosa palette that I've been wanting for a very long time. Now that I've tried this one, I know I'm gonna enjoy that one. So this is beautiful. I love it every day. Really nice. It's not as orange based as the Salted Caramel. It's a lot more neutral, but it is great. I really love the matte. And then some of these shimmers are really impactful, and they show up on the eyes, like really show up on the eyes. It's a beautiful palette. Beautiful neutral palette. If I'm going to choose a neutral palette, this one's a good one to have. It's not too much of one way or another. Number 6 goes to my Viseart Neutral Matte. Now, the reason why this is lower, again, not the quality, is just because it's an all matte palette, and I tend to not reach for an all matte palette, but here's another but. I will say that if I am choosing an all matte palette, this is the one I have always chosen. It's not something that I'm now choosing or recently have chosen. It truly is my one palette that if I want really good mattes, dependable mattes that are gonna look amazing throughout the whole entire day, no matter what it is that I'm doing, this is the palette that I reach for. If I were to show this palette in person for you to see with your own eyeballs, you could see how well loved it is. I don't know if you could tell on camera, but here in person, you can really see that I really enjoy this palette. It's a beautiful formula. Viseart mattes are one of my top favorite mattes ever. I think they're great. They're great for a beginner. They're great for a person who is an expert at eyeshadow, who has young skin eyelids and who has mature eyelids. You're gonna love it no matter what. I at least think so. Number 5 goes to the Desert Lights palette by Flower Beauty. This cannot be a standalone palette for me. Well, it kind of can. I bought this palette and I didn't do any review, and I thought about doing a comparison with the Jungle Lights, but I figured there wasn't much to compare. The quality is great, just as the Jungle Lights palette is. The only difference is the color story. And I will mention that compared to the Jungle Lights, this one at least has one, which is this one right here, that is not as shimmery and metallic as the rest. I can actually get away with using that one as sort of like a satin. I was able to use it as an outer V, and it really didn't look as impactful as these other 5 or the 6 in the Jungle Lights. This color story is a lot more subdued, more subtle, and you're going with more pinks and peaches and plums versus the Jungle Lights, which is all over the place and you can just pick and choose whichever you want. This one you can kind of put together in a way. The quality is still the same. It's beautiful. I would recommend either use your finger wet, or if you're going to use it dry, like dab it on your eyelid. Don't swipe like this because you're going to have like a thick layer and it's going to be harder to blend out. But it is a beautiful palette. I like this one. I don't know if I like this one more than Jungle Lights, but they're both great. I really did like it and I really enjoyed it. And those that have purchased this one or Jungle Lights have also loved the formula. Number 4 goes to the Profusion Emeralds palette. This was in my Pan Those Eyeshadows. If you saw it on Wednesday, and if you didn't, I'm sorry, spoiler alert, I hit pan on that shadow. This is a decent palette for $5. $5, you guys, and the reason why it ranks higher than the rest is not so much that the quality of it is better than the rest, it's just the color story. It's so much fun. So much fun. I was able to do something very soft and subtle, even with this color right here and these 3 over here, or I can make it really nice and bold. This shade right here is one of my favorites. I loved these 2 matte greens. I thought they were great. They work well. The quality is good. It's good, but it's not like amazing where I'm like, no, but it is good. It is good. And a lot of you guys that have purchased this palette have said the same. You're going to be surprised that it only costs $5 because it's actually a really decent eyeshadow. I loved the color story. You guys know my favorite color is green, so this just appealed to me. It was great. I enjoyed it. Stop saying great, Alex. You're annoying me. All right, this is my number 4 palette. You guys know why. Top 3. Here we go, you guys. Top 3 goes, number 3 goes to the Indigo Ink by Menagerie Cosmetics. You guys, while I was using this palette, I realized that it does have more blue than what the eye or what it shows first off when you see it. If you were to cover this up, you're getting a lot of blues, believe it or not. Like this is a gray blue. This is actual blue purple. This is a very light blue gray. This is a bluish, greenish type of shade. It has a little hint of green. This obviously is a dark blue. So you're getting more blues than what you think. Every time I would use this palette, I would end up getting only one look, and I used these 3. That was the only look where I didn't have a blue tied into my look. Every other look that I used when I used all these rest of these shadows, I was getting some sort of blue undertone look. So believe it or not, I was surprised just as much as most of you guys that actually this does have a lot more blue than you would think. I really enjoyed it, and I love the flip of all of these. Like these are just beautiful flips. All of these right here, gorgeous. I'm so happy I purchased it. It is another palette just like the Serenity palette. It makes me think outside the box. It makes me step a little bit back and really consider what I'm going to do. It's not just a palette I could just jump into and go with the flow. I really got to think about it, but the looks that I've come out with are really beautiful and I really enjoyed it. So if you were considering it and a lot of us thought it wasn't going to have a lot of blue in it, it really actually does, believe it or not. Number 2 goes to the Retro palette. This palette is such a beautiful look. It's so dirty. I'm sorry. I beat the crap out of this palette and you guys can definitely tell. I really enjoyed this one. I am not a mauves lover. I'm saying that right now and I've said it time and time again. I am not somebody who enjoys mauves often. It to me reminds me of like this grandmother who knits, who crochets, who wears the grandma sweaters, who has a recliner, and you know, she buys lip balms for all of her grandkids stuffing, like stocking stuffers. Like that's what I come to mind every time I think of a color story like this. But This one has actually changed my mind. It's so pretty. I love that she chose the cream to powder formula. I love that she chose sparkly shadows in here too. And I love that it's just not purple undertones. You're getting the burgundies, you're getting the soft, warmer tone mauves, you're getting the cooler tone mauves with grays in them. It's just such a pretty, feminine, sophisticated palette. I love this. I actually used this on a guest at a wedding, and she came back and told me that people were shocked that I paired the eye look with her dress. It just turned out so pretty. No, not many people would have thought. They told her that they wouldn't have thought to put that eye look with her dress. It's just such a pretty palette. It's a nice go-to palette if you want color, but you want it to be in a sophisticated way. It's beautiful, beautiful. And I love her formula. Natasha Denona has amazing formula. I really enjoy it. I cannot wait to see what other ones she comes out with next year because I'm going to have so much fun with them. I know she recently just came out with new ones where it's like eyeshadow and face palette, but I'm really not interested in that unless I really see a look I enjoy. I might consider it, but I'll pass on those because I just love these. These are fun. So that had to be number 2. All right, and my number 1 should not be a surprise because I have kind of hinted at it throughout my videos that I had a feeling this was going to be my number 1, and that is the Wilderness palette by Beauty Bay. This by far has inconsistencies in its formula compared to the rest of the eyeshadows. Yeah, this by far has the most. Some of these don't work well, the match, you got to really work on them, but then others are just smooth and beautiful. But the shimmers get me every time. I really enjoy this palette. No, I do not have it on my eyes. I'm testing new stuff out. I'm sorry, you guys, but my favorite shade has to be this one in Bay. I'm actually wanting to pop this on the green that I'm wearing today. So we're gonna do it because why not? Where do I gotta go? Nowhere. Look at that. Oh, I love this. I love this shade. It just goes on top of everything I do. It's just gorgeous. The color story is phenomenal. Beautiful. Love it. You got your cool tones, you got your warm tones, but they're bright and fun. You could still keep this subtle, or you can make it super bright, which is fun. And the shimmers are just to die for. Beauty Bay really does have a great formula for their shimmers. They're really good. I did not get the Opalescence. I think that's the new one that's called, just because I have the Book of Magic and I felt like they were very similar. But if you were interested, I think it's great. I really do like this palette. It's just so much fun. And it was very hard to let this go to test new stuff out because I really love it. Now I can't stop staring at that green I just put on my eyelids. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. Definitely my number 1. And a lot of you guys were able to get it during restock. I think this is a great palette. They should keep it permanently because it is such a good palette. Alrighty, folks. That's all I got for you guys today. I'll link all these palettes down in the description box if they are still available to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this series. It'll come back next year. I promise you guys. I'll put more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.